Hello and welcome. This is proving triangles are congruent with side, 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 and side, angle, side again, part B. We're going to be using side, 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 and side, angle, side, but this time we're going to actually do the whole proof itself. Remember or recall that side, side, side postulate says that if three sides of one triangle are congruent to three sides of another, these are going to be congruent triangles. Also, if side, angle, side, the included angle, and then the side, if those are congruent to the other triangle, their same corresponding parts, then these will prove that the triangles are congruent. These are two of the main properties we use, or postulates we use, to prove triangles congruence. There will be two more we'll do, and there's actually a fifth one called HL, or hypotenuse leg, but we're not going to get to that one. So given this, we're going to walk through a step-by-step process, and it's identical to what we did yesterday. First off, this is going to be our last thing, so this should be always the last thing we do. So this will eventually be down here as our very last step. So just noticing that we are given something. So I'm going to start with my first thing that is given to me, and I'm going to draw that in the picture. So we know that PQ, let's do this in blue, sorry, P to Q is congruent to R to S, or segment RS, and that was given to me. So PQ and drawing in the picture and RS are the same, so I draw that in the picture. Now the next step here is, well, QR and SP are the same, so I'm going to go ahead and write that as my second given. And again, when you do a step, you're going to have to click validate to validate that step. I believe you can just send these to proof, send to proof, and it does it for you. Then you just have to give the reason, which I think it does for you, but in a test, you'd have to actually physically write this out, hence why I'm doing that. So we have segment QR is congruent to segment SP, and that is given to me as well. And let's draw this in the picture, QR and SP, so those are going to be congruent to each other, so I do two dashes there, because I already used one tick mark for those. Now, we want to prove these are congruent triangles. This triangle here and this triangle. We want to show that PQR is the same as RSP. Are those the same triangles? Well, we have side, side, and then remember this final side here is itself the same thing as itself. So again, if we think about a picture of this triangle, we have this triangle right here. This is going to be congruent to this, and they share this middle red side in common, which is called the reflexive property. So we are just going to state that PR, segment PR, is itself segment PR. Those are the same thing, and that is called the reflexive property. And that's just stating that we have two triangles that are using the same side, so we actually have to state that is our third side, and that's called that reflexive property. So let me highlight that in red because that was in red. And then now we just notice that we have a side matching another side right there, and then we have this side matching this side and this side there. So we have a side, and another side, which is our SSS postulate. But before we do that, we have to again put that last step in here. We're putting this last step in as our last thing right there. So let's rewrite that final step as triangle PQR is in fact congruent to triangle RSP. And again, that was side, side, side postulate. So go ahead and try, well, let's actually do one more together, sorry, and then I will flip it to the back side and want you to try. So this next example, again, let's look at this picture. Again, this will be our very, very last thing, so that's going to go down here. So let's just write that first. I like putting that down, even though Alex won't let you do that. I just know that this is my final thing I have to get to. It'll be my last step. So it's always, always, always the last step. And then we have to prove it by telling the reason. Now, I like starting with the given, and we have two given here, so let's put those both inside of this and draw them in the picture. So QR is the same as segment SR, and that was given to me. So QR is right here, SR is right there, and then we know that PR is the same as TR. And again, that was given to me, so let's put that in this picture. So we have P to R, so P to R right here, and we have T to R, which is right here. And then our last thing is noting what can we draw in the picture that we don't know? Well, there is no reflexive, but we do know that, in fact, this angle is the same as that angle because those are vertical. So we just have to write, well, this step here is that angle. That's right. We can angle QRP. So angle QRP is in fact the same as angle SRT. So angle SRT, and we know that because they are vertical angles. Vertical angles are always, always, always congruent. Now we have a side, we have an angle and a side, which if we think about that side and angle a side, well, that's my side angle side postulate as my justification or my reason for, if I can write here, apparently I can't. So the reason why this triangle is congruent to the other one is because of side angle side postulate. So please go ahead and try this last one on your own. Try to use either side, side, side or side angle side to prove that these are congruent. So take a couple minutes to go through this, pause this video, and then unpause it to check your answer in just a moment. So hopefully you tried it on yourself, put all the given in. We know reflexive property. We have three sides, so we have, in this case, we have a side, and a side that match the other triangle with side, side, side. Therefore, side, side, side postulate.